Welcome to Fight City NYC. We're the newest show in the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. We're going to be exploring the worlds of boxing and mixed martial arts. We're going to focus on local events and local fighters. We're also going to be talking about the general events, the big events, especially last night's event, super fight with Floyd Mayweather and Shane Mosley. We also have a website, FightCityNYC.com. My name is Ben Chan. I'll be your host. I'm going to introduce you to the rest of my panel now. And to the left of me, I've got Mariano the Mauler Agmi, who writes for FightNews.com. I also have Aris, the Predator, Pina, who works for Gotham Boxing and Punch Zone, HBO. To the right of me, I've got fantastic Francisco Guzman, who writes for BoxeoMundial.com. And I have Jovan Negovan, who is with FightCityNYC.com. We got a jam-packed action show for you. We got two special guests today, Nirmal Lorik, the trainer, and his fighter, Dimitri Star of David Salita. But we're going to start off with the mixed martial arts world. Jovan, Francisco?
Sure. This Saturday, the UFC will be hosting one of its biggest events of the year. In the main event, Lyoto the Dragon Machida will be defending his light heavyweight title in a rematch against Mauricio Shogun Rua. Their first matchup back in October was a technical masterpiece, and it was considered by many to be a contender for Fight of the Year. However, the Machida, while he did get a decision win, it was a very close decision, and there was some controversy surrounding that because a lot of fans and pundits alike thought that Shogun had done enough to eke out a decision win. Both of these guys are at the top of the 205-pound weight division. They're also on many people's pound-for-pound lists, but they're really on opposite sides of the spectrum in terms of how they apply their specific skill sets to the MMA game. Shogun is very aggressive. He's known as a finisher. He's got a reputation for himself that he got over in Pride, knocking out some of the biggest names in MMA. And on the other hand, we have Machida, who's very tactical. Yeah, he's considered a cerebral fighter. He's a counter striker. He's very elusive. He often sort of dictates where the fight takes place, maintains his distance, and he loves to counter. The first matchup, Shogun was considered a very big underdog, and that was primarily because most people had expected him to come into this fight moving forward, and they thought that style would really play into the hands of Machida, who's more the counter striker. But Shogun surprised his foe, and he surprised the world by implementing a very tactical and patient and technically brilliant game plan. He didn't press or push Machida. He sort of took his time, stalked him, chased him down, and he tried to cut off the cage and pressure him the entire fight. The fight was very close, and I think Francisco's going to give us a little background on what his thoughts were on the first match and how we see the second fight playing out.
Yeah, it was a very close fight, and I think that if you look at it, all Shogun has to do is tweak his style, go in there and be a little bit more aggressive, be as consistent as he was in the first fight, and the consistency was probably going to get him the win in the rematch. Machida spends a lot of time being defensive, also leaning back and leaving that leg exposed. That's why he was being kicked a lot. Not only was he kicked a lot, but he had a rib injury in the fight itself. So now I would say that all Shogun has to do is be a little bit more aggressive, because you know that Machida is going to be more defensive in this fight.
Right. No, I agree with that. I think that's a very good analysis. I think he was also very effective. He had a brilliant game plan. He just wasn't aggressive enough, and he didn't finish when he had the chance.
Right, and he probably had the blueprint to beating Machida, because Machida has, if you saw the Evans fight, Evans came forward and left himself open.
Right. He was a little too aggressive.
To counter, right. And that wasn't Evans' style. Right. If you saw when he knocked out Chuck Liddell, what did he do? He baited him in, boom, hit him with the uppercut. So that is something that he has to be careful of.
I think one of the other things that we really sort of learned in the first match is, Machida's style is very difficult to deal with. He gives most opponents fits because he's just so unorthodox. And it's going to work on 99.9% of the fighters out there. But we learned that when someone comes up with an answer to a lot of his counters, a lot of his his elusive style, he can't change his game plan on the fly. I think that's one of the biggest things that we saw was that he wasn't able to make adjustments mid-fight.
Yeah, but there's a rematch here. So we never seen him in a rematch. We never seen him have to come back from things like this. So we have, that's a big question mark coming into this fight.
Absolutely. As far as predictions, I think it's going to be a very close fight, just like the first. I don't see either guy being dominated here. I think it's probably going to come down to who's able to capitalize on that one crucial mistake, who's able to go in for the finish. I think I'm going to go out on the limb here and pick the underdog, Shogun. I think, like you mentioned, I think he had a very effective game plan. He's just going to have to step it up and be a little more aggressive and try to finish the fight.
Like this weekend, I wouldn't bet against a winning horse. Floyd Mayweather proved that. So going into it with Shogun and Machida, I'm going to go with Machida again.
You think he's going to make the necessary adjustments?
Well, I don't. It's a big question mark in this fight, and I really don't know what to really think, but I'm going to go with the winning horse.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys.